again to impress all the girls and them. They have no interest in me. I started to go crazy. Then I went out to take a drive, and that is when I realized how they was responding to me. All because I have four wheels. They only want me. She only love me. She don't want no shopping spree. Only car. She even skipped dinner with me. Cancel the trip to Miami. Now I have to pay down on a new Audi. I went motor to check Tariq for a car to see if I could get a Jeep or a car. He said me and Rena have to speak for me to get a discount on a SUV. All she want is, all she want is, all she need is in the morning. All she crying, all she want is, all she need is. This girl got me working hard, but I know that she love me bad. If you hear how she does brag when I pull up in she yard, I tell her that I have a great idea. Let's catch a flight and get out of here. She said we could go anywhere once it will have Arcadia. They only want me. She only love me. She don't want Versace, only car. She don't want Louis V, only car. She don't want jewelry, only car. She only want a man with a SUV. She don't want no shopping spree, only car. She even skipped dinner with me. Cancel the trip to Miami. Now I have to pay down on a new Audi. All she want is, all she want is, all she need is in the morning. All she crying, all she want is, all she need is. I don't know what else to do again to impress all the girls and them. They have no interest in me. I started to go crazy. Then I went out to take a drive, and that is when I realized how they was responding to me. All because I have four wheels. They only want me. She only love me. She don't want no shopping spree. Only car. She even skipped dinner with me. Cancel the trip to Miami. Now I have to pay down on a new Audi. I went motor to check Tariq for a car to see if I could get a Jeep or a car. He said me and Rena have to speak for me to get a discount on a SUV.
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. Of course, I'm your host, Andrew Dick. What is happening on the lovely island of St. Martin? One of my favorite days is, of course, the Council of Ministers press briefing. It's where the ministers come and bullshit us and give us as much of the fluff as possible because they don't have all the information, so they try to have the information, but at least they get the information eventually. What have we learned today during the Council of Ministers press briefing? St. Martin, the 16 square island, the 16 square piece, you know, the Dutch side, apparently has 58,000 plus persons registered at the census office. Unregistered, we don't know, but we know that we have 58,000 persons. Therefore, St. Martin will not be going to 17 seats. We will be staying at 15 seats, according to the Prime Minister during Wednesday's Council of Ministers press briefing. Let's take you to the press briefing where she explained.
I was able to get an update. I know there have been questions recently, and I said I would give it a response at the end of June, but I was able to get an update today that there are 58,477 registered persons within our registry, which still leaves us at 50 members of parliament currently. So based on the cleanup that has taken place, 58,477, which still keeps us at a parliament of 15. If it remains that way by that time. The project was based on having an accurate system and will help benefit the distribution of voting cards to the public. So again, with this being said, and especially after listening to a part of the opening statements at the PIVA convention, it is important that people ensure that their correct address is listed within our registry system. So we are going through this cleanup is based on persons either not communicating to written documentation sent to the address that we have registered, and there is a whole trajectory for that. So if you have received an email from the civil registry and have not responded, and you do not respond again after a second letter, you run the risk of being deregistered. So please, if you have changed your address within the past year, within the past 3 years or 4 years, whatever the case may be, and have not lived up to your obligation to notify civil registry, I'm hereby once again encouraging all persons to ensure that the correct address that you are currently residing at is also what is listed within Civil Registry of St. Martin.
So for clarification, Prime Minister, the Civil Registry, you said 58,000 persons registered, but as far as the voters is concerned, how many voters do we have? Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Rolika and Mr. Dick. Based on the info I have, I asked for an update to be certain, but this is the count at current, and I believe it is for registered, it says registered persons. So I have to confirm whether that's the number of registered voters or not. So I will double check and get that to you. If I get the answer before the end of press briefing, I'll update you. But the final count, of course, would be determined at the end of, let's say, the date that you close the registry for voting. That would be the date. I'm just giving an update as to what it is now because it's been asked on a weekly basis. So the number was, I repeat, 58,477. I'll have to confirm whether that is registered persons or whether that is eligible voters.
I was shaking my head because she told me, she was like, yeah, it's not finished, but it's 58,000 plus. But we're not going to go to 17 seats. We're going to stay at 15 seats, but it's not finished. So I was confused. That's why I was shaking my head. So, well, at least she noticed I was shaking my head because I was like, oh, what? In any case, Nagico, yes. Nagico, the biggest insurer on the Dutch side, has launched a new policy to fight fraud because apparently 21 persons are under suspicion of selling fraudulent policies, and they are copying and adjusting the policy that Nagico has and selling it to people, and it goes off as a fake policy, of course, because when the police checks it, it gets flagged, and then they end up getting arrested for it because it's fraud. So Nagico is rolling out a whole new set of policy documents whereby it can't be copied. It's going to be watermark and have a CRIP number, not a CRIP number, but some type of number, bar number or something like that, and it's going to be authentic and other security features, and you can't copy it and all of that. They had a press conference with the Minister of Justice on Wednesday. We were there. Take a look at the press conference.
I congratulate the company for taking a positive step in protecting their client from being exploited by persons with malicious intentions. Many times we look toward the police force and or the government to act first. As such, I commend Nagico for restoring the trust of their policyholders. Tackling insurance policy fraud on St. Martin is of paramount importance for numerous reasons. And I would just like to mention a few. It helps to maintain the integrity and sustainability, of the insurance industry, ensuring that legitimate policyholders are protected and able to receive the coverage that they rightfully deserve and pay for. By identifying and combating fraudulent activities, insurers prevent financial losses, ultimately benefiting all policyholders by stabilizing premiums. Addressing insurance policy fraud also contributes to the overall fight against organized crime, as many fraudulent schemes are limited to wider criminal networks. Falsifying insurance policies may be an easy route for some. However, these actions are dangerous and have a significant impact on innocent people. We must be aware of not only how our actions affect us, but how it affects others as well. As Minister of Justice, I endorse Nagico's new motor vehicle insurance policy with the support and cooperation of our law enforcement, information campaigns, and investments in counter-fraud measures. We will continue to combat fraud. I thank you very much for this opportunity to be here to share this information. And I, as I said before, commend Nagico for taking this proactive approach, because too often the government as well as the police force is expected to do everything.
And mainly, as the minister said, perhaps to the culprits out there that are falsifying the documents, I got away with $100, $200. Mainly to the industry, a victim in an accident, and not a person with a fender bender. But as the minister said, a victim in an accident, a serious injury claim, or perhaps worse, death claim, that victim does not have a recourse when a person is using a false policy schedule. As a responsible insurer, we need to protect the industry. So the minister is absolutely correct. It's one thing is falsifying the document, but the other, and mainly to us all here, is to protect a third party, a victim in an accident. We live in a regulated environment, banks and insurance companies. You can only purchase a policy from a licensed insurance company. You can only purchase a policy from a licensed broker. When you see a broker, it's because that person was licensed by the central bank. When we question some of these culprits, the answer you get is, yeah, but I purchased it somewhere in Backstreet. You cannot purchase a policy from an individual in Backstreet. That is simply not possible. Or I purchase it from an individual. That is simply not possible. You purchase a policy from a licensed insurance company. The industry is regulated by our regulator, the Central Bank of Curacao. It's a model. So we've been pursuing this for some time now. Nagico has decided to roll out what we consider a new and improved policy schedule. The new schedule, you will see, is green. The regular schedule is a white document. This new schedule is going to be a green document. The schedule also has a watermark inside. So if you keep it up in the sunlight or in the office at the light, you will clearly see that the schedule has a watermark inside. There are several other security features as well, and I could mention a few. It has a microfilm inside. It has a tracking number on the inside. So the police at the scene of an inspection can easily see, just hold it up to the sunlight, you will see the watermark inside. If it is copied, you cannot copy the document. The watermark will simply not come on. The tracking number, we have a tracking number on it. You also, we will be able to see where the document originated from. There are a couple of other features inside that I would prefer not to mention at this time. We have a rollout schedule for the policy. We can circulate it so that you can see the document. We have a rollout schedule for the policies. We will roll this out beginning the 12th of June, so effective next week, Monday. All policy holders, you can go to your broker or come to the office if you're insured directly here. You can collect your new policy schedule. The rollout period will be for 3 months, so it will begin the 12th of June, and we will continue with this period until the 15th of September. We will mark this with a marketing campaign where we will invite our policy holders to come back to the office, collect your new schedule. After the 15th of September, only this document will apply. So you can keep the white schedule that you have, keep it as a copy, but if you're asked to present this document with the police at an inspection, receiver's office, inspection center, this is the only document that will apply.
At the moment, And this I want to also request from other corporate citizens. If there's something wrong, identify it, and you have to come to us and make notice of this. And that was done by Nagico. At the moment, we have 21 cases active, which already we identified 17 suspects, which in the coming days, with cooperation with the prosecutor's office, we will be finalizing these cases.
And the second question was with regards to the front side.
The front side.
This motor policy schedule, I should correct myself, it only applies to the motor policy. So of course you have your homeowners policy, your fire policy, business policy, etc. It does not apply to those policies because that's not an issue. The motor policy schedules, this only applies to our that side motor policy. We do not have this issue with the friend side motor policies. The friend side, Eddie can explain, but the friend side is...
We have the policy schedule, and we also have the vignette that goes on the windshield. The vignette cannot be duplicated for now, as I say, because it's getting smarter and smarter every day. But for now, we still protected by the vignette. Even if the gendarme stops you, you have the vignette on the windshield that will show the date and everything that they can duplicate. For now, that it's not on our side yet.
We have been discussing to do the same on Sabre and Station.
Correct.
We function as one territory, St. Martin Sabre Station, although we are regulated by 2 central banks. We may move this to our Sabre and Station office as well, although we have not had incidences in Sabre and Station.
Just another proactive step to be one step ahead.
Yes. I think I had another question.
Andrew?
Yes, thank you. Minister Richardson, as far as Nagico being the first one to actually do this, of course, there are other insurance companies. Do you also encourage them to do this type of action in collaboration with the police? And for the police, as far as the policy is concerned, most of the time the police have been very flexible with drivers with just showing the policy on the phone. So they have a copy of it, they show it on the phone, and whether it's updated or not, then the police will be able to just check in the system or whatever. Will that be possible still now that this has been introduced? Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew, for your question. Yes, in my opening remarks, I mentioned that I really commend Nagico for taking this proactive approach, because far too often the government is, or in this case, you would say the police force, is looked at to be able to address the matter. But now the source is, ensuring that the production of is more secured and protected. So I do employ for other, as Chief John referred to, corporate citizens in this case, to take the initiative to do the same.
As regards to the schedule accepted by control, Nagico has indicated what is their valid schedule, so that will be strictly enforced within the coming months. So no phones, no copies, etc. Make sure that you have your valid document with you, and that will be strictly enforced. I know there's a thought of it can get lost, etc. We have had this conversation also with Nagico on how fast someone can receive a duplicate of the document if it's lost, and that's pretty fast, within an hour or few hours.
Trip to the office, you can have it, and it's free of cost. Everything is free during the transition. All documents are free of cost. There's no additional charge to do so.
Okay, so what have you learned? If you have a Nagico policy, you go to the office free of charge. You just go and they give you the new policy, and then when police stops you, make sure you have that policy and not the other old policy you have, because the old policy will not be accepted. They will only accept the new policy. If you have another insurance broker you're safe because they also have to go through that process of making a new policy. Nagico is the first one to start it, so it's going to just come down the line. But for now, that's how they want to fight fraudulent practices when it comes to the policy holders. So, yeah. Anyway, I'd like to say also that Julian Rolox, the USM candidate, he kept with his promise, and he's continued to give out prizes every single month. This month, he gave another prize to another lucky winner as he continues towards the road to elections 2024, according to the Prime Minister. All right. Welcome to the Late Night Show. It was a long one, but it was worth it. What have we learned? This government does not give a shit about locals, and I'm scared. I'm very scared because you don't know who's next on the chopping block. Welcome to the Late Night Show. Let's begin.
At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport.